Distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, it is a real honor to share my thoughts with you at this fourth Shinzo Abe conference. Today, as we reflect upon Prime Minister Abe's legacy, his insightful balance of innovation and stability, and his belief that technology must always serve human dignity and well-being, this resonates very powerfully with Japan's forward-thinking initiatives, such as Society 5.0. Now, our conference theme, Government 24/7, AI and Finance Platform, highlights the need for governance that is not only continuously responsive, but fundamentally ethical. And achieving this requires more than advanced algorithm. It depends on a deep public trust and sustained citizen participation. And drawing from Taiwan's decade of digital democracy experience, today I'll share briefly how we've used technology, not just for efficiency, but to build essential fabric of trust and through what we call broad listening. So not broadcasting, broad listening. Over the past decade, amid the very rapid social change and division, we recognize the limits of conventional governance through voicing discontent through opposition. We had to actively build better alternatives through proposition. And this led to initiative 10 years ago called GovZero, G0V. We guide by this motto, forking the government. Fork in software development means creating an improved version of existing code. And applied to governance, it means collaboratively building open solutions when official digital services fall short. So far from just protesting, this is about demonstration, fostering a culture of shared responsibility. And this philosophy was tested during digital disruptions, notably in 2015, when the ride-sharing service like Uber first arrived. Instead of polarized conflicts, we used a digital platform called Polis, designed for collective sense-making. Thousands of people shared nuanced thoughts, their feelings around Uber or taxis. And this idea is that the confrontational dynamic do not come from the anti-social social media, but from this pro-social social media, where people resonated with each other through upvotes and downvotes, but no reply buttons, and the uncommon ground was surfaced through this opinion landscape. And this proved that technology, when intentionally designed, can surface these uncommon ground and make actual legal statements and legislations to foster genuine dialogue and turn that into something that really closes the loop. And as AI becomes more integrated into governance and finance, ethical considerations intensify. As we know, AI lowers the cost of sophisticated attack, phishing, polarization, division attacks. But the crucial counterpoint is that it also dramatically lowered the cost of facilitation. And broad listening enhanced by AI harnessed this opportunity. And our guiding principle here is called plurality. It's not chasing a single monolithic superintelligence or the singularity, but rather about embracing diverse technologies to enhance human collaboration through assistive intelligence. And in Japan, we're very happy to see, inspired by plurality, people like Takahiro Ano, who campaigned for the Tokyo governance seat, vividly demonstrate this by implementing broad listening, mapping public discourse, employing language model for productive online dialogue, and co-creating the platforms on GitHub. And so the innovative engagement are now tapping into the Tokyo GovTech and many other parties in Japan for strategic governance planning. And last March, we also explored the same technology, AI-assisted broad listening, when tackling the urgent requirements of fighting AI-generated deepfake scams. Because last March, when you scroll like Facebook or YouTube in Taiwan, you sometimes see Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, trying to sell you some crypto or some stocks. And if you click, Jensen actually talks to you through voice message and text message. Of course, that's a deepfake. And so last March, we sent 200,000 text SMS to random numbers around Taiwan from the trusted number 111, so people know it comes from the government, with just one very simple question. How do you feel about information integrity online? And people share their ideas, and they volunteered for a kind of jury duty, citizens assembly online. And we chose randomly a statistically representative sample of 450 people in 45 rooms of 10 people each to hold those discussions. and an AI in the room facilitate the conversation, making transcripts and encourage people to speak up, and so on. And this idea basically crowdsourced the Overton window, the acceptable solutions from the people with the people. For example, one room would say, you should not actually assume every advertisement is real until people flag it as scam. You should assume everything is a scam until Jensen Huang digitally sign it as real. And another room says, well, if you don't require this KYC and a platform like Facebook run this advertisement anyway, and somebody gets scammed for, say, $5 million, you don't fine Facebook. You make them liable for that $5 million of damage. And another room may say, TikTok, ByteDance do not have a legal representative in Taiwan. So if you assign liability, they may not pay. What do? Well, we gradually slow down connection to ByteDance service until they agree to set up the legal representation. Otherwise, their business go to Google or something. And so without content level censorship, all these ideas cohere together. We read them back to the plenary, thanks to the sense-making capability of language model grounded in individual statements. People know which part of which utterance influence, like a shapely function, the weight of the final consultation results. And so by March, we already showed the legislature more than 85% of people agreed with these measures, regardless of their occupation, gender, place they live, age bracket, and so on, without censoring anyone. This idea was then checked with the stakeholders in Big Tech in April, and we proposed this draft law in last May, and was fast-tracked to the digital signature amendments in June. And today, if you open Facebook or YouTube in Taiwan, you simply don't see those deepfake ads anymore. And so I think this demonstrates broad listening and plurality in action can build societal resilience through empowering citizens to collectively address such complex challenges at the speed of technology. And such trust and accountability is the non-negotiable prerequisite when deploying advanced technologies, especially within financial platforms, and the focus of this conference. And so I think public confidence must be earned rather than assumed. This deliberative process through conversation networks are essential to ensure the rules and ethical guidelines governing AI align with broadly held public values, addressing concerns about fairness, bias, privacy, and so on. And so the civic infrastructure, this kind of conversation infrastructure, I think embodies Prime Minister Abe's vision of data-free flow with trust, empowering individuals, protecting privacy and integrity rather than centralizing control. And therefore, Taiwan's vision for AIWS government 24/7 is very clear. It is committing to plurality over singularity, prioritizing broad listening, and deploying AI assistively to enhance human deliberation. After all, if we just send our chatbots to a jury duty and they talk among themselves, it's like sending our robots to the gym to lift weights for ourselves. It's very impressive, but the civic muscles simply do not grow. Indeed, we need to build deep, enduring trust through human networks of deliberation, but facilitated by AI and closing the loop through broad listening technologies. As a conclusion, I'd like to share with you my job description from 2016. In Taiwanese Mandarin, 数位 means both digital and plural. So I served not just as Cabinet Minister of Digital Affairs, but also plural affairs. So my job description goes like this. When we see the Internet of Things, let's make it an Internet of beings. When we see virtual reality, let's make it a shared reality. When we see machine learning, let's make it collaborative learning. When we see user experience, let's make it about human experience. And whenever we hear the singularity is near, let us always remember the plurality is here. Thank you.